Fractions to decimals with Kelly's number chips. This is a digital lesson and it starts on slide 2. So it starts by asking the students what we would multiply each of these numbers by in order to get 100 because we want our denominator to be 100. So all they have to do is move these colorful chips. They just click and hold and then move it each into place. Now, each slide has all of the numbers they're going to need, so they just need to know where to put them on the slide. So this one's fairly simple. What do we multiply to get 100? The next slide, they're going to be converting fractions to equivalent fractions with 100 in the denominator. So if they know what to multiply times 50, which is 2, then they also have to multiply the numerator by the same number by 2. And that will give them 14 hundredths. So that's all they're doing on this slide. They're just converting each to an equivalent fraction with 100 in the denominator. The next slide is just a practice in place value. So it tells them where to put each of these numbers. You put your 5 in the ones place. You just have to click and hold and move it. 3 in the tenths place. 7 in the hundreds place. 4 in the hundredths place. It's just really important they know their place value. 6 in the tens place, and 8 in the thousands place. So it's a good exercise in reviewing place value. When they get to the next slide, now they're going to show each of these as a decimal. So they've got 3 fractions, all with 100 in the denominator. And they need to know that this number on the far right in the numerator will always go in the hundreds place. So that means the 3 will go here in the hundreds place. The 7 will go here in the hundreds place. And then the 0 will go in the hundreds place. And that helps them place their numbers correctly so they can finish filling in the rest of the numbers. Then they're just going to change these fractions to decimals. These are pretty simple. The 3 and the 2 would go here, and they have to know that this would be a 0. Now this one, the first one's pretty simple. The second one is a little bit tricky. 8 100ths, well that 8 is going to have to go here. It's going to go in the hundreds place, not the tenths place. And then they've got a few with 3-digit numbers in the numerator. Again, the 5 will go here in the hundreds place on both of them. And then they need to fill in the rest of the numbers. Now starting on slide 9, they have to convert them to fractions with 100 in the denominator. So here they know they're going to have to multiply by 50, and they're going to get 100. And in the numerator, it would be 50 hundredths. Multiply numerator and denominator by 50. On this one, they have to multiply numerator and denominator by 25. And that will give them 75 hundredths, and then they can go ahead and convert those to decimals. Same thing on the next slide and on slide 11. Now, when they get to slide 12, so sometimes they can't convert directly to an equivalent fraction with 100 in the denominator. They may need to simplify their fraction first. So if they simplify the first fraction, dividing numerator and denominator by 2, they get 7 20ths. And then they're going to convert that again to a number with 100 in the denominator. And here they're going to multiply by 5, which would give them 35 hundredths. And then they can go ahead and fill in the numbers in their decimals. So they're going to simplify first and then convert to a fraction with 100 in the denominator. Now, if they can't do that, they may just have to first simplify. So if they simplify here, they get 1/8. Well, they can't convert that to a number with 100 in the denominator, so they have to use long division. So they're going to have to take 1 divided by 8. So 8 goes into 10 one time. which is 8, subtract, and bring down. So you might want to have them place their zeros first. You know that these are going to be zeros. Now we're going to bring down a 0. Now 8 goes into 20 2 times. It's a good practice for their long division also, which is 16. Subtract, they get 4, and bring down that last 0. And now 8 goes evenly into 40 5 times. So here they've converted a fraction to a decimal. They're going to do the same thing on the next one. On the final slide, now they have a repeating decimal. So they're going to do the long division, and this will actually be here. So they've got this little bar that they need to place over the repeating number. So this is going to end up, when they do the division, 6, 6, 6, repeating. And so then they just want to place that bar so they show the number that repeats. Then the final slide just has some decimals vocabulary that you might want to go over with the students: terminating, non-terminating, and repeating. And that's the lesson. It's a lot of fun for the kids, moving the chips around on their screen, and just kind of a fun way to practice converting from fractions to decimals.